All right, that's what we talking about. Y'all gonna do what y'all gonna do all day, cause we gonna maintain what we're doing up here, all right? Also we're doing with the big brother bully, cause he come to boogie. Say what now? We love to see you boogie. All right. I say now, when the people see me, they say have no fear. Also we're gonna do it for the big brothers come from Maryland, up part of Big Apple and all the rest of that crew, Philly crew. All right. Also special dedication going out to the big brother Southeast man, cause they come to boogie. All right now, do it y'all. Talking about we love to see you do it y'all. All right, look at y'all. Talk about the people see me, they say have no fear, cause go, Lorenzo, show enough here. Say the people come around me just to hear what I say, cause I rock them in and out this fit. Say what, or you can dance if you want, y'all, or you can keep in your state of mind. Cause if you don't dance, well, if you don't dance, well, y'all no friend of mine. Save a bullet, go if you want to, and to the places you can never find. Well, if you don't dance, well, y'all no friend of mine. Say what now? You're no friend of mine, you don't do what you want to do. All right, y'all keep on warming on up out there, Big Apple. Also the MD crew, cause they come to book, yeah? That's what we talking about, man. One more up. Take a little time for Kenny and Laura. I said what, y'all? Say we're gonna take a little time for Kim and Baptist. All right, do it for the big brother Ned, cause they come to boogie. We're talking about for the ladies, time for little bass all in this place. All right, that's what we talking about. Look here, we're gonna try it again, all right, y'all. Y'all just maintain what you're doing. And look here, when the people see me, they say have no fear, cause go. Say what? You can dance if you want to. Say what? You can dance if you want to. Say what now? You can dance if you want to. You know French and mine. You can dance if you want to. Chop it on up, y'all. I say what? You can dance if you want to. Do it. As we talking about, do it for the bebop crew, cause they come to boogie. I'll do it on down for the bebop, cause they come don't down. Hey, keep on doing what you're doing, fellas. As we talking about Kenny. Say what now? I always love to see you do it when you do it like that, y'all. Say what now? Look here. You can dance if you want to. You can dance if you want to. Hey. You can dance if you want to. You can dance if you want to. Say right now. You can dance if you want to.
Welcome live to the Talk Around the Town. You got your host, Bruce, Skibo Records. And you got Shannon, Miss Shannon. Introduce yourself.
Well, I need to introduce myself. They know who I am.
Shannon.
What's wrong with
Indulge.
him? Travel spot. Indulge travel spot. I'm going to make you write it 1,000 times until you get my name right.
School. This is not
it's going to be today.
So we got a special show tonight. We got a brother coming in by the name of Kevin, with the Triumph for Leaders, representing a non-profit organization that started in the Southeast. We're going to have a lot of questions and things to lay on the table about the non-profit movement and what's going on.
Feel free to call in, ask questions.
Yes, and feel free to call in because he's going to lay a lot of things on the table, and there's going to be a lot of things that's going to be exposed. So feel free to definitely call in when the brother get here. When he get here, we're going to take a break so he can come on, set up, and we're going to go straight in.
So what's new with you, Skibo?
The Talk Around Town.
That's not new with you.
You've
been doing that.
What's the Talk Around Town?
That's what I'm asking you.
What you asking me?
You
the
know
Talk
more than I
Around
know.
Town is you got a lot of love floating in the air for Valentine's Day. People doing a lot of exclusive things.
Look, you better make sure your rent is paid come March while you worrying about Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
That's a gift, okay? Fellas, okay? Pay the rent. That's a gift. If she says it's not a gift, you don't need her. She greedy.
Pay the rent?
Yes, pay the rent.
Ain't that greedy?
No. That's a gift.
Oh, that's a gift.
Yeah, if she doing it all year round, you can do it 1 month. That won't hurt.
What? Oh, yeah.
True or false, DJ Ron?
Yeah.
True or false?
So listen, we're going to take a quick break because we don't want to waste no time, and we're going to bring the brother in and get him ready so we can go straight into what the show is about tonight. And
I'm going to ask him the same question when you sit down, though. That don't matter.
So we're going to take a quick 5-minute break, and we're going to be right back at you.
2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Know something like this, yeah, he black. I want some of that good old Popeye chicken. The biscuits with the jelly and the bento. I want some of that good old Popeye chicken. The biscuits with the jelly and the bento.
Boy, you stupid.
You recording?
Yep.
Oh, hey, what's up, everybody, man? We just finished off with the Socially Stupid Experience, man, hosted by my boy Joe Champ.
He's
man,
stupid.
featuring my man Elmo,
He's stupid.
my man B.
You think he's
Hey,
scared?
my man Anthony,
There's something wrong with this
my
man.
girl Vanessa Schofield, all the way from New York.
He's
Also,
stupid,
man,
he
my man
drunk, and
David
I'm
Ruffin,
open. See
man.
how that work out? Like,
And me, man, headline, man, I appreciate everybody, man. Powered by VoxWave.com, man. Comedian Stu the Don, man.
no, in the inside.
In the inside, I'm Drake. Light skin inside, man.
What type of shit is that?
Professional step
You
out,
darker than
man.
dark chocolate toast.
Bringing families back together, one child support check at a time.
Child support.
But catch us each and every Saturday from 9 to 11 on Vox Wave. Tune in, be there. We also be on Spotify, TuneCore,
iTunes.
All that good stuff. I wasn't talk shit. That's it. That's what I get paid for. That's it.
Each
That's
and every
all.
Saturday, you can catch us on YouTube as well.
Speaking of a check, that child support check.
Stu the dog.
Boy, you stupid.
Around the town, we got a special guest in the house tonight.
Hey, Rita Boo.
My homie Kevin. Introduce yourself, brother.
Hey, how you doing, everybody? My name Kevin, president of Triumph for Leaders Youth Mentoring Program. Hashtag Shipley Lions.
Okay. So, let's start from the basics. So how did you come up with the idea of a mentoring program?
Man, this started a long time ago. It mainly started with me going on field trips with my kids. I was very active with my kids in school. They was going to Sunshine Early Learning Center right there. Was that on 6th Street, 6th and Chesapeake, 4th and Chesapeake. I'm sorry. And I was going on field trips with them there, and it was like every time I went to the schools or, I went to be involved with them, I'm running to like be your child or anybody's child from the neighborhood. So when I'm in there, it's like I'm not just there for my kids, I'm there for everybody's kids. You know what I'm saying? So it started from that. And my childhood, I lost my mother at an early age, 17, and that was very, detrimental on me for a young age. And it was out the blue, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't see that coming.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Real talk. So, that right there is what helped, inspire me a lot, in my life. And that was at 17 years old. So, when I was, doing me, in the streets, whatever the case may be, I didn't have a mother. And I was destroying lives at the same time.
Okay.
So, at the same time destroying lives, I felt that it was a need for me to give back and help those kids because their mothers are hurting from a product that I'm destroying their life with.
Okay.
But at the same time, like, it goes back to like this program is.
First, I'm gonna give you a breather because I know it's your first interview. But congratulations, you know this the brother first interview for those that don't know.
You
know
doing
what
a good
I mean?
job.
And he doing a lot of positive stuff in the community. So now we're gonna put it on blast, the positive stuff he doing, but we're gonna give you the game all the way around the board. Back to you.
Yeah, like I was saying, me out here, you know, like I said, destroying lives, and I'm being honest because this is what inspired me, you know, to do what I'm doing. Because I know what it's like to be one of those kids. The same kids that I'm mentoring, every child in our program, you know, they coming from my neighborhood. You know what our neighborhood is faced against. So I ain't got to sit here and explain it. If you know about Shipley, you know about...
Self-explanatory.
Exactly. So that's 90% of the kids in Triumph for Leaders Youth Mentoring Program. Yeah. It's the kids out of, you know, the Shipley community.
So the idea started when you was, you know, in your...
The idea
dealing with the kids,
the
going
idea,
on field trips and stuff like that. But now that we're getting up to speed, what made you, what motivated you or inspired you, besides that, to take the steps that you take to get where you at? Because you're the president of Triumph for Leaders right now.
A lot of people telling me no.
Okay.
That motivates you.
That's what got me where I'm at. A lot of people telling me no, and you know that can hurt a whole lot of people, but it helped me. You know what I'm saying? Because I took it as every time somebody tell me no,
I'm going to accomplish it.
I prove them wrong.
Yeah,
you know,
but it can take a million
that's
people.
what makes me triumphant.
No question.
It can take a million people telling you no, and that one person to tell you yes to take you just exactly where you want to be.
Exactly.
But one thing, you know, when it comes to dealing with these kids, it's dedication. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are in it for the wrong reason. Anybody that knows me, you know what I'm saying, that knows me personally, this program ain't just come about. I've been doing this for a very long time, almost 15 years.
Okay.
Well, where were you at when my son was small? We beefing. Wait a minute.
I
My
might have
son's
still.
16.
He was still finding his way.
My son's 16.
Exactly.
When we go to break, if y'all see him later, I beat him up. I'm letting you know now.
But, you know, let's talk about some of the things you've been doing in the community in the last year or two.
Man, last year was the first year that, you know, Triumph for Leaders, you know, was really put out to the community. Okay. You know, I kept it under the radar for a very long time, and for a reason. Triumph for Leaders is actually, if you know anything about the prison system, you know, you've been out in any FBOP prison, you know about RDAP. That's pretty much where, you know, this program, I built the platform from it. When I was, you know, incarcerated, I ran the program. Okay. And
facilitated.
I facilitated, and I pretty much, you know,
did you?
I ran it, you know, and before I left, you know, I was at Rivers Wagon Hut, you know, and I'm down there with everybody from the area. So, you know, I'm doing that, and I was like, you know, if I can do this with prisoners, you know what I'm saying, I'm pretty much in charge of over like almost 80, you know, prisoners every day for 2.5 years. You know what I'm saying? I said, if I can do this, you know, I can go home and, you know, start my own mentoring program. And I restructured that whole program, you know, at Rivers. Before I left, I'm talking from the dictionary, from the definitions, everything. I restructured the whole program. So I'm like, if I can do this with a prison program, I'll make my own.
Right.
Man, I kept playing me and Baby J. Because me and Baby J, you know, that's another homie, you know, from the neighborhood. We just so happened to be in the program together. We were cellies. And we, you know, walked, you know, spin the track every day, you know, working out. And I tell them, like, every day, like, nobody really took all that serious. I ain't gonna lie, I still got my books.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And that RDAP is, you know, Triumph for Leaders. It's RDAP on the street.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't even really know what I was doing. When I came home in 2011, you know, I started coaching football. Okay. And I found myself teaching the same skills that I was taught in RDAP. I was teaching it to the youth in football. Right. 2014, you know, I wanted to start a football team with my son. You know, a couple of other kids, they stayed getting in trouble. So I'm like, you know, I'm gonna start a football team. They like the football, you know. I was thinking of a name, and you know, I was like, I need a name that's gonna stick, something that's gonna, you know, like catch everybody,
out.
you know, stand
something
out.
different from everything else.
Lie to you not, you know, I was listening to a song of Mariah Carey. She got a song called Triumphant. Her, Rick Ross, and Meek Mill.
Yeah, I heard that.
And I was like, that's it. That's how I inspired the logo with, you know, Reach for the Stars, you know what I'm saying? If you listen to the song, that whole song is the whole inspiration of Triumph for Leaders, the logo, and everything.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I did that, and, you know, I put my name on social media as Triumph for Leaders. A lot of people didn't even know, you know, what it was.
Yeah.
They just thought it was just a name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And bam. Last year, when it got out there, the whole time, Triumph for Leaders was a youth mentoring program.
Right.
Everybody, well, I ain't know that whole time. Yeah, the whole time, that's what Triumph for Leader was. I thought you just came up with a name. They thought it was an old silly name. No, it wasn't a silly name. It's a, you see what it is now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
let's get to the meat of it though. Like, what have you been doing in the community? What have you started? Like, I'm talking about since, you know, recently.
We got you know, we got the football program going. We got the basketball program. Just partner your cheerleading program, trying for cheer. Can't forget about that. That's one of the biggest parts of the program. Actually, you know, to go back to your question of what, you know, got me started, the cheer program is actually what kicked it off.
Okay.
You know, and you know we're gonna get to that. We're gonna.
Okay, let's
all
go.
right,
let's go. You say you got something to get off your chest. Let's go.
Last year, you know, that's when the whole 2017, I spent almost the whole year putting this program together. The only time I left out the house was to go take my kids to school, do what I had to do with my kids, and I was back in the house. I lodged for a whole year straight. Putting it together.
Mastermind.
Everything that I had put, you know, learned, you know what I'm saying, that I did from 2011 to 2017, I put it on paper.
That's right, smart man.
You know what I'm saying? And
I actually went through it because I was the vice president one time for the program, so I actually got to read over everything, and it inspired me. It's just my job schedule changed so much I had to fall back, you know, and play my part in a different way. But the brother is definitely moving. He started, like I said, got the cheer program, got the football, got the mentoring. He got so much positive stuff going on in the community. He's got the football team on Mississippi Avenue. Like, he been moving.
Yeah, so, I think we had the conversation actually. You know, I had partnered with another program. They was there first year, last year. And, you know, I was just mainly worrying about pushing the mentoring. I wasn't even worried about the, you know, football because this football stuff, it's a headache.
I know.
I ain't even gonna lie to you. It's a headache. So,
so what have you accomplished dealing with the football? Like, far as, you
I
know,
made it through the first year, something that people didn't think that I was gonna do. I was set up to fail by a whole lot of people, you know.
What you mean by that?
I mean, you know, it's, you know, a lot of leaders within the community. You know what I'm saying? See, absolutely. One thing about, you know, running a nonprofit organization, the key word is nonprofit organization. But some people get it twisted.
Yeah, like you just stealing from
you
the
know what I'm
government.
saying? Exactly.
Actually,
so
you put all this work in yourself out your pocket.
Exactly. And I sacrificed a lot. I gave up everything. You know, sold my car, gave up my apartment. You know what I'm saying? All this because, you know, I was, you know, set up to fail. I was told, you know what I'm saying, that I was going to be, you know, help with certain things. And right when, I mean, you was there with me.
Yeah, I mean, let's get into it. Like with the football, you know, William C. Smith was supposed to back us on some things. You know, as far as the field, the goal post, the bleachers, the you know, the chalk and everything. And they reneged. The football equipment, they reneged.
When we had that conversation that night, and like I said, I had partnered with another program, you know, out in Oxon Hill, because, you know, and when I came home in 2000, when I went in, my kids were going to DC schools. You know, when I came home, they was in PG County schools because my baby mother, my kid's mother, you know, she had moved, you know, to PG County. And when I came home, I realized that, you know, just that fast, in, you know, 3 years, that the migration of all the kids that was on our side, they was going to the Benjamin Stoddard, Thurgood, Potomac.
That's been going on since
Oxon.
'89.
You see, I graduated from
before that.
Oxon Hill.
Yeah.
I went to 16 different PG County schools, all within that boundary.
I done went to quite a few DC and PG schools.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not in a part of that group. I just went to DC schools.
I mean, I ain't had no choice.
That's
exactly.
because that's different. I think your two stories are different because you know why you went to
I was a
different schools.
knucklehead. I mean, and then, you know, it was life situations that was real going on, so we just had to go with the flow.
And see, you know, that's the thing. You just said the key word, real life situations. If anybody, you know, always hear me talk, you know, always, you know, #real. You know, because this program, you know, is therapeutic, teaching, you know, life skills, real life skills. We're teaching it through youth sports, but there is a classroom setting for it as well. You know, we have a 10-month curriculum, you know, that it wasn't rolled out last year, you know, but we have a 10-month curriculum to be taught to the kids
Throughout the year.
throughout the year.
Okay.
You know, which is going to start this year.
You got somebody comment that says, congratulations, don't give up.
And
Congratulations, don't give up. You're touching kids' lives, and it is a lot of backlash and without supporting a case. What? As a union, I know how the nonprofit topic goes. I guess, you know, but you know, I read it crazy, but I guess that's how they put it. So. It basically, congratulations and don't give up. You know, it's a lot of hate going on in the community. There's a lot of people trying to slow us down.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of people don't believe in what you got going on. They'd rather see you take the steps and fall on your face when you're reaching out help from the whole Washington, D.C. area.
I'm carrying the whole community right now on my back without the help of nobody.
Yeah, no question.
But the people around me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, it goes back to, you know, William C. Smith and them, they helped out at the end, you know.
Oh, at the end.
At the end,
But
after
they were supposed to help them in the beginning.
After they start hearing things about it.
When we first started, I went, you know, to the property management around Shipley. You know, I'm gonna say I'm a
Shipley native.
Exactly. You know, 25th. You know what I'm saying?
A Shipley native.
Exactly. So you know, Shipley Park. You know, I went to the property manager around there and I asked, you know, could I use the community room to do the mentoring?
Yeah.
And you know, the thing came about if what fell through with the other program that I was with, and I called Skibo. Never forget the night I called him. I said, man, I need to holler at you. So, like, man, we went, met up, you know what I'm saying? I talked to him. I say, man, look, I got to do something. I say, man, people trying to set me up the field. I say, man, if I don't do no football this year and add it with this program, I say that's going to be the end of this program.
Yeah, and to be honest, at the time when he reached out to me, you know, I was just coming home. So, you know, it took a lot of process for me to get myself back together and get my footing straight first, even though I'm still with the movement till this day and I got my feet a better planted. Well, let me say that over. I got my feet planted better. You know what I'm saying? So now that I got my feet planted better, that, you know, we still been moving. We still been keeping it going. I still been reaching out to the brother, letting them know that you have support within your community from the older brothers. You have support from, you know, parents and people of that nature. And also, too, the brother got a senior program going on that we haven't even got into yet.
Yeah, it's a whole lot going on within this program. You know, like I said, last year, we still in the beginning of this year. I'm still trying to, you know, get over last year.
Yeah.
You know, because I ain't supposed to be here right now. You know, and, you know, we didn't get no equipment until a few days before we were supposed to play our first game.
Yeah. And then what made it so bad is that, you know, they ain't even want to give us the information so all the coaches could be licensed and registered until the last minute. So we had to scramble like chickens with our heads cut off just to try to get licensed. And then everybody's situation was different. They popping stuff up on us the last minute. You got to pay for this, you got to pay for this, you got to pay for this, you got to pay for this. They didn't really want us in the league.
And see, and here's the thing. When I introduced the program to the community, you know, D.C. is filled with plenty of mentoring programs. That's another reason why I started in, you know, PG County, because our kids were over there. They needed that same guidance, you know, that same structure, because, right. You know, PG County schools ain't nothing but the new D.C. public schools.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know, so I pissed off a lot of teachers, you know, within the school system advocating for the kids, right. You know, making sure that they, you know, have a fair opportunity, because, you know, a lot of these kids there, you know, just immediately kicked out, suspended. And a lot of times it's for no reason.
Or trying to find
but you know what's so funny that you say that? My son is in high school. And you know, normally when you get in high school, boys, as far as boys-wise, smallest things make them just want to want to go off.
Because
it could be somebody looking at them. What you looking at me for? Like, that's an automatic fight right there, because you don't know how to communicate.
Yeah, they don't.
But my son's school, I love them for this. He goes to Ron Brown, the all-boy college prep school.
Where's that at?
Northeast.
By Deanwood.
Oh, okay.
They don't suspend
like
their kids.
They feel like that.
And see, suspension.
No, they do in-school suspension. And then the funny part is you have to do in-school suspension with the same person you just fought. Now, I dare you to fight while you in this room. Y'all have to talk it out. And after you talk it out amongst each other, you have to talk about individually, or what's your problem with this person, with this counselor on the school property.
Suspension is definitely not the answer now.
Because all they're going to do is go home, go outside, and act cool.
Exactly.
Prison is definitely not the answer for our young black youth.
Exactly. That's why I'm out here, you know, doing what I'm doing.
Right.
You know, trying to prevent them, you know. And when I did this, you know, I was not expecting, you know, for this program to, I knew it was going to get to this point, but I didn't think it was going to do it so fast. You know what I'm saying? It's steady growing daily.
I'm going to be honest with you, right? When he first called me and told me about the program, I was like, bro, we can do it. He was like, yeah, man, we're going to try to do the football, the cheerleading, the mentoring, and everything, and have it set up for next year where we better structured. Next thing I know, he called me like a day or two later. Bro, we got this person backing us, we got this person backing us, we got this, we got that. I said, man, I just started a new job. That's all right, bro. Come on, let's go. We can make this happen. We can make that happen. I'm like, let's go. And it was coming so fast. The support came so fast, but the hate came even faster.
Yeah.
You know, and it was kind of crazy, because here's though you got a brother who bringing positive people in the community together to do something better for the community and the kids, as far as like tutoring, mentoring, giving them computer time, game time, you know, jobs, stuff to do, activities, car washes, fundraisers, you know, just putting them in the mix all the way around the board. And you got people over here like, you know, F this group, F that group, they ain't trying to do this and trying to do that. And it was crazy.
You two might want to read this.
What?
Jamal King, he has a similar at his church. And he has meetings.
Youth organization I start. Youth organization I start through a church organization. I had a youth organization I started through a church organization called Pathfinders. When we had a community meeting as far as funding, aka nonprofits, to sum it up, I learned the hard way that we all couldn't see more.
Let's push the button. There you go.
That we all couldn't come together as one, or like a pyramid, a stable foundation. It was you get funding your way and I get it mine, when the biggest purpose was the kids and saving.
Absolutely.
Hey, please inbox me, contact me, because it seemed like that we need to, people like me and you know, need to come together. And then, this is not
contact me. I send it straight to him. I get the information.
Somehow contact me, but this is not to, you know.
But better yet, you can call in at 240-719-2560
and speak to the man
directly. And y'all exchange information online if you want to do that. You ain't got to do that. We got DMs. We got Gmail. We got a whole lot of avenues. I was about to say some sheesh. But we got a whole lot of avenues where we can communicate with each other without putting your business on the air. But the number is 240-719-2560. So feel free to call in and comment or ask questions or anything.
Now, I don't have a non-profit organization. This is true. Everyone who knows I don't. But on my street and the children that grew up around me, I don't play the foolishness. I will beat your behind in front of the police and be like, and as soon as they say, I'm his aunt, mind your business, he gonna be okay. You know,
all our kids nowadays need, is that little extra support. Again, like...
They're my babies. They bad as hell, but they're my babies.
I don't down any father out here,
no, mother neither.
No, mother neither. I take my hat off, to all the single mothers out here because it's hard.
Yeah.
Raising a young man, because they ain't young boys nowadays, they young men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what we got to go back to, and this is what you did with a lot, as far as with the nonprofit and dealing with the youth. When we get them, homes are already dysfunctional. Yeah. When we get them, things are already in chaos and shambles and limbo. And we got to actually go back to the root of the problem if we can get to it.
Overnight.
And if we can get to it, and it takes time, and then start to build their confidence up and trust up with us just to play football or to be mentored, because they don't even want to open up to be mentored.
Because because at first my son was small. He was a little runt and little. I admit it. You ain't got to say nothing. I know my baby was small. He was like 5 and still like this big, I swear. Because this person used to beat him up a lot because he was little.
I was small. I've been small.
Because he used to cry all the time and run up under you, and I'm like,
because his mother got a nice little right upper. What's up?
No, it wasn't that so much. Is that, in our era in the community, he could tell you best. In our era in the community, we raised the whole community. Yeah. Like the doors, even though we was in Southeast, ain't nobody in the neighborhood locked their doors for us. Nobody. Everybody fed us. We looked out for the whole community. It was more unity. It was more trust. It was more dependability. It was a whole lot of things in that small street or 2-3 streets.
No.
Well, I'm going to say 5 streets. It was within 5-block radius.
Yeah, between I've always considered our community from, 25th all the way down to Stanton, which is Parkland. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm
not. That makes up pretty much the whole
Parkland
village of Parkland.
No,
you know what I'm saying? So,
but this is what I'm saying. Because I'm not originally from Southeast. I'm from Uptown. Okay. So when I first moved around, at first I'm like most Uptown. I'm like, all right, let me in Southeast and stuff. Now I gotta give me a pistol. I gotta give me a security. I gotta give me a rock waller with rabies. All types of stuff going on to live in Southeast.
But when Cujo.
Man, what? Cujo's gonna be in a porch. But once I got to know a lot of the people, because I have family in the neighborhood where I live at now, but no one knew they were my family until my male cousin was like, nah, that's my cousin. They was like, nah, that's not your cousin. Yeah. That's my cousin. Say something. And once I saw how they were together, how they were amongst each other, I was like, oh, okay, my baby can play out here. All right. I was still on the porch watching like a hawk though, but it's still, I had to get comfortable enough to trust men that weren't family around my son.
Yeah. But
that's why, like a couple of times, he was about to get stabbed. I'm gonna admit it, because I thought he was being a little bit too aggressive with my baby.
I was being aggressive because at the same time I was trying to warm him up and then make him, stand up. Right. You know what I mean? Because at the time he was being passive.
Yeah, but you got to think about it. I'm a young single mother. I was like 19 when I moved around Southeast.
Right.
I'm 32 now.
Right.
So back then, my main goal was keep your baby safe. That was it. That was all.
But
after a while, when I saw like one of my uncles had to pull me to the side, I was like, come here, we need to talk for a second. Because I see how you are with your son. I foresee what you about to do to this baby. So we about to talk.
So right.
You always need that male. Every male, I'm sorry, can't know. And that's the problem. And I'm not, again, I take my hat off to all single women out here, but that's the problem with this generation now, is that a lot of these young men are being sheltered by these No,
I get what you're going with it, but I want you to think about this way.
Yeah,
No,
I
know you are. But I want you to
because-
think about this way, right? If let's say you're a young
You gotta
woman
protect
who
your baby.
moved here, let's say
I'm not saying not to, but you have to, the same way you gotta let a woman be a woman, you gotta let
a young man,
a young man be a
and I
young
get that.
man.
Okay, let's say it could be a young woman who's going through an abusive relationship or whatever, right? And she finally got enough for her and her kid to get away, right? Her main focus now is to protect her child and watch what kind of men she brings around her child, right? Now, look, listen,
Right.
like you said, you were in the streets. He was in the streets. We all know this, right?
Right.
So if you see, speaking as a woman, you see the same kind of man floating up and down the street that
I
you
got
just
two
try to get away.
daughters.
No, I'm saying, but you see the same kind of man that you just got away from. You don't know if that man is different. You just know what you see.
See, exactly.
So if you could be cool, calm, collected all day long, but she could see you go off on one dude and beat him to a
And
bloody
that-
pulp after that.
It's stuck
No,
in her mind.
no. All y'all like that. I don't want
Because
y'all around my son. I don't
for-
want him to grow up to be that type of
For a
man.
long
You get what I'm
time,
saying?
for a long time, you know, and I heard like when she was new to the neighborhood, and I say this for a lot of people in the neighborhood because, you know, we was in and out of prison, and a lot of people in the neighborhood was coming up, and by the time we came back around, they was looking at us like, who are y'all? And they had to take the whole community, say, oh, no, that's a homie, that's such and such, this and that.
Well, I cussed him out the first time I met him.
Yeah,
So.
but we had to come back into the community and restructure something that was taught to us. And to this day, it works a little bit, but you got to do it more strategically now. But as far as mentoring the neighborhood and getting the kids to come together and be on the same accord, because they've been practicing a dysfunctional way of living for so long that it's hard to mold the good men the way you want them to be.
Right, but see, my thing with it is, you know, is that you can't move into a neighborhood with a child and then, you know, say, you know, you got a problem with the neighbor, you don't want your child to come outside, whatever the case may be.
No, he came outside, but he
I'm
didn't move.
I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying in general. You know what I'm saying?
But you know, some moms who were like me, like we let them go outside, but we didn't let them go too far. You know what I'm saying?
Once you
like
move into an environment, you are now a
gotta
product
adapt.
of that environment. You have to adapt.
Yeah,
If you
no
came
question.
from Waldorf
It could be,
and moved to
It could be
Southeast,
Jablip.
you ain't gonna make it, baby.
you know, you can make it depending
It's how
on.
you
You know what I'm
move.
saying? If I'm saying, if you
Exactly.
think about the way you're saying, like they
Exactly.
stay sheltered in the house,
But
like
you have to adapt. But see, here's the thing. But that's what's happening, though. You have a lot of kids that live in neighborhoods, you know what I'm saying? But the parents don't let them come outside because, hear me out. The parents don't let them come outside because they're worried about, you know, what they see outside, the kids fighting, whatever the case may be. That's going to happen no matter where you go.
this is true.
So the best thing for you, the best thing to happen is to let that child adapt. Because what happens is once you set them out, they don't
They
know how to
lost,
react.
yeah.
Now, when they go to school, you think your child is being bullied. No, he hasn't been taught how to stand up for himself. Now, violence ain't the answer. But, you know.
You have the right to defend yourself.
You have to defend yourself. You got to know how.
Now, I tell my son that all the time. I tell him, because the way my son and his cousins are, they are like brothers. They grew up from pull-ups to now. And if you say something to one, guarantee you saying something to the rest. And they all going to say, what you say? Or what he say? Like they're going to feel some type of way because they feel like you're threatening them as a whole. You get what I'm saying?
Hey, Mo, we on something positive. You in here joning live on Facebook like,
Who's that?
Mo, we talking about positive stuff and you in here joning. Like, we talking about something positive. Like, hey, it's something.
block
Because
you.
Mo was a mentor himself. You know, he was a facilitator with a program as well. I ain't going to put his business out there, but Mo is very educated and familiar with the program. He just on joke time right now because it's Saturday night.
Pretty much.
But
And it's after 9 o'clock.
Gotta have a sense of humor all the time.
yeah, he talking about my little ass chin strap. Fire his ass up like he got me.
But what I'm saying is, like, my son and his, like I was saying, they're like brothers. Like, they always together. They get on my nerves. That's how much they together. Winter break, summer break, they think they live in my house. It be
Right.
shoes and shoes in my house. I'm like, whose shoes are these? Oh, those such and such.
I
Come
might
get
knock
your
on the
shoes.
door-
Why? I
I might knock on
live
the door
here.
to check on them and be like, hey, what's up, y'all? I'm like, "Damn, how many people you got in this motherfucker? Like, it's like it's shoes.
No, it'd be
everywhere.
like a
roll
racket,
call.
But at the same time, that's when I get to install, my mentoring skills. And to
But
touch
you know what's-
the young homies that's 15, 16,
But
that can't that's past the age
You gotta
of your
catch them
program.
early now.
No, but you know what's
because
crazy?
They passed the age of your program, so that's when I grab them and be like, hey, let me talk to you.
But you know what's crazy, because like my son actually told me he was younger. Something happened. I was like, no, babe, you can't do this. You gotta do that. He was like, Mom, you a girl. How you know? Excuse you? I said, let me explain something to you. Just because you have a particular fortitude and I have a vagina does not mean I don't know something that men know.
You heard that word she used?
Which one?
Particular fortitude. Okay, bring out another one. You feeling that way? Say something else.
I was lost at fortitude.
Yeah, it's 'cause she's talking about the what you call it.
The point.
Yeah, you talking about the joint.
It was
But-
y'all know But
she
when
pulled
he
out-
said that to me, I looked and I was like, and then I let my cousin say the exact same thing. He was like, oh, I get it. And I said, that's the same thing I just told you 10 minutes ago. But, Mom, you a girl. You don't get it. What? What? What don't I get? Because I have a vagina, I don't get it? Is that what young men think? Because Mommy got a vagina, she don't get it?
No, I mean,
Because, honestly, it's some females out here that go
way
way harder than some men.
And I was getting ready to say that. Like, you got women out there, they do a good job at raising
Yeah, my
young.
mother raised me.
Because
well.
I tell
You
my
know,
son,
my
quick,
mama- I just
you
failed
don't.
to be a knucklehead
Now I know my son,
on my
his
own.
girlfriend, they play that play fighting. You know, like how the kids do play fighting. That's fine. You can play fight all you day
I
long.
don't even condone that.
No,
They play fighting always.
No, it's fine
Nah,
because
they
it's
get
just
turned
them.
on.
No,
They
that's
get
just
turned
no.
on about
He
it.
know,
It's
no,
something
he
that-
knows
it's like
how far
sport.
to
It's
take
like
it.
courting.
Like if she calls him and say, if she calls me and say, Mom, he hit me and he did this, that, and the third, I'm gonna call you back. Cause now me and you about to have a problem. You don't put your hands in no female. I told him, I said,
Oh,
you
yeah,
walk
absolutely
away.
not.
I said, I don't care if you got to shake her like a rag doll and sit her down, tell her, chill her happy ass out. That's the time I tell you can cuss.
Now,
Chill out, relax
here's
yourself.
here's the thing though. Now, as a man, and I'm gonna be honest.
True.
A
Best to hear from a man.
yeah, a few punches from a female, man, it's worse than being hit by a man.
Yeah, because they
You
got
know,
some.
so-
They got some. Like, don't
It
get
just
me
be the
wrong.
rings. It don't be really the
Nah,
punches sometimes.
you got some women out here
Man.
that can fight. Sure
Yeah.
enough can fight, and will hurt you if
Yeah.
you just keep taking them punches.
Yeah.
Like,
So-
you got to protect yourself, but I take my hat off to the strong women in society.
I've never put my hands on it's not a female out here that can, say that I've ever put my hands on them. Have I had to restrain a female before? Oh, yeah, plenty of times. But have I ever put my hands on a female and physically hit her? Nah.
I got one, because she was trying to kill me. I got one.
We not gonna
I
talk
had to
about that.
protect myself. I got one, like, seriously, like, I never forget that. That'll be with me for the rest of my life. That's like a scar. She tried to really take me out. I had to,
Yeah,
oh,
that's,
wait a minute, I'm not going like that.
That's something I ain't never.
Now, I grew up around some because it was a male, me, boy, boy. So I was the only girl. So they used to get their kicks out of, picking on me or roughing me up a
Right.
little bit. Do you remember Dunbar old cement steps?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know which one of you jackals did it, but one of y'all pushed me down them stairs.
Hey, that was the...
And it happened so quick, and
Like
all
being
you,
in Meridian
by
Park.
the time I was standing on the ground, I was like, what in the...
That's like being in Meridian Park with them old steps.
You get what I'm saying? But they used to do things, and my male cousin who was older than me told me, like, if you gotta be tough. Like, we not always gonna be here to protect you. Like, sometimes you gonna have to be able to stand up for yourself.
Yeah, that's why I teach my.
We gonna
daughters
be
every
here,
day.
but we gotta make sure you got it until we get there.
But I'm glad this program came together, that they put a program together called the Triumphant Leaders.
Mm-hmm.
If you got any questions, comments, anything you want to call in, the number is 240-719-2560. You know what I mean? You can ask questions, or you can
Put your
give
input.
advice or input
Or volunteer.
or volunteer.
Volunteer. We need.
We
coaches,
always need
football,
volunteers.
basketball. We need
Cheerleaders.
coaches. This is a.
I
this
played
is a-
volleyball. I didn't do
a
cheer.
brand new program. So it's still in the making.
Yes, indeed.
We need all the help we can get.
If you got some political ties.
Dedicated help, because I ain't gonna lie to you. I went through a lot of staff in 2017 too.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of people.
Well, I'm going to say this, and we're going to put it out there live. You know what I mean? Even though it's in the rule books that if you with an organization that you're not supposed to be recruiting kids from other organizations, and you have a lot of people out there doing it, even you have people planting coaches and staff members, finding ways in to get their way in to try to steal players, and that is wrong. That's against the rule books. You will be fined if you got caught by, what's the name? The
AYL.
AYL. So, don't think it's gone unnoticed or on a deaf ear, a deaf eye and a deaf ear. We see it because it went blank.
Okay.
I don't even worry about the people trying to take kids and all that, because one thing I'm building this program off of loyalty. So you
got to realize a lot of people don't even know what the word means. A lot of people are using words like loyalty, responsibility, respect.
Well, guess what? If they don't know what it means, I'm going to teach them, because that's all I'm about.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So if you ain't got no loyalty in you, you're going to immediately fade out anyway, because I'm going to sense that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be so loyal, an unloyal person don't know how to deal with too much loyalty, so they eventually expose themselves anyway.
And fade out.
But
You know what I'm saying?
my mind goes above and beyond the call of duty, because not only when the football program was going on, he was also popping up at your school doing checks to the kids on the team and cheerleaders and all that to make sure they was doing what they was doing in school, and also catching them after school at the after school programs that we was having, and letting it be known like, hey, this is what you're doing in school. You can't play this week. If you keep doing this in school, you gotta give me your football equipment back.
Education is always
But
first.
you know what's so funny? Did you know Weedy?
Yeah, in Venus. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Those are my son's godparents.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So when he used to, like, he had his little moments where he'd lash out, like, I got something for you. I call Venus or Weedy, and Weedy be like, you know what? I go on lunch at this time. Tell the school I'm coming up there.
Venus worked with my kid's mother. They was actually very close, and it was very touching. We bring that topic up, because that was that was tragic right there.
I know both sides of the situation. That whole
but
situation.
you know what?
Absolutely.
A lack
Because
of communication.
My son had broken his, because when Weedy went to the Terps, not the Terps, I forgot the name of the old team. Excuse me, y'all. He broke his neck at practice.
Was it
I'm trying to remember
the last team he's playing with.
Heels.
No,
it was
the last team Weedy was coaching for.
Orange and
It's orange and black.
Watkins. He was at Watkins.
Yeah.
He was playing for them. He broke his neck at practice. So when I called Weedy and told Weedy was going off on the phone like, "What you mean he broke his neck? I told him to sit down," and he was doing Weedy. But when that
Drew.
That already right there kind of made me be like, "Nah, you can't play football no more."
Yeah, and see
but Weedy said, because the doctor's like, "Oh, he can play within a year." Weedy said,
terrible.
"Tell the doctor I said, excuse my language, fuck no, he not playing."
Now, speaking of that, because safety is always first. I'm gonna bring up flex football, which is NFX, National Flex Football, which is a league started by former NFL players that I think started over on the West Coast first, back in 2017.
Okay.
And it pretty much, I didn't even know about flex football
they got a
until,
wonderful program, though.
I got a phone call about 2 weeks ago. And, it was a guy, Andrew Pastor. Mm-hmm. And he calling me. And I lie to you not, it made me think about, how you watch movies and people get those big phone calls. And the person called he called me like he knew me.
You drafted to go to the NFL.
He'd already had it all mapped out.
What he's gonna say? How
he called me like we had already had conversations before. Hey, Captain, this is Drew. What you gonna do, Bob? I'm like, hold on. Like I done been through so much already, so I'm pumping the brakes.
Hold on for a second. Who you?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was on the phone at the time, and when I seen the number, I'm like, who? I don't normally even answer numbers, strange numbers, but I answered it anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Strange numbers. My phone says scam like
it just so happened to be, this
person.
This person, Andrew Pastor and Joey LaRock. Joey LaRock is the founder of National Flex Football, and they're based out of Dallas, Texas. Their headquarters is actually in Dallas Stadium.
Oh, okay.
And a bunch of former
Shout
football
out to the,
players.
Shout out to the Cowboys. All these Cowboy fans in the building tonight.
They started a league, to help with safety for the youth. And that's pretty much flex football is pretty much the style of football how the NFL players practice. So they try to incorporate that into the youth sports, which is again I never knew what flex football was until I got the phone call. So I partnered with them to start national NFX football DMV NFX flex football DMV. The first year we're doing PG County because I couldn't find a spot in DC. But we definitely want to do DC next year.
No,
right.
but
also too, the owner of the radio station, I let you see the clip from last week.
I saw it.
Also said if we need any help or need any assistance in a certain type of way, he'll be able to help.
OG, what's up,
to
babe?
the best of his ability. You know what I mean? Like it's still avenues and options that we have out there that haven't been discovered yet.
Yeah, and it's gonna be another 5 years before all this really,
takes off.
It took off.
I'm gonna say
all it take is the right team, the right staff, the right movement. Like we already touched so many lives in the community. We already touched so many lives in the community off the one-on-one. And then when we come together and people like, oh, y'all doing this, y'all doing that, y'all doing this, y'all doing that. Like, when I started helping with the Trying for Leaders, with the football team, it was kids that I knew, but they didn't pay me no attention. When I started doing it, Coach, they was calling me Coach Rick, Coach Calvin, Coach everything but my name.
Man.
But once they realized who I was, they was like, hold up, Rick take us home, so that ain't Rick. Calvin the owner, hold up. What's your name? And I tell them, they were like, oh, hey, Coach. And every day they was running to us, Coach, give me $1. I was like, look, hold up, wait a minute. I'm just a coach. You can't keep hitting me for money, too. I ain't got no problem giving you money, but not every day. Every time you see an ice cream truck, you want $1.
Was it a different day?
No, it wasn't a different day.
Yes,
it was
it
the
was.
same day. No, it wasn't. They was coming 3-4 times a day.
Yeah,
And I'm like, listen, all I got is gas money and to get back and forth to work money.
But
last year, I barely had enough to do that at times. Because every time I turned around, it was something that had to be paid for. I was calling people, you know what I'm saying? And I had to set my pride to I ain't going to lie. This is something like what I'm doing right now. This is not something that, I would normally do, going live and,
special situation.
It's not. It's a very special situation, and it's not going to be the last.
Exactly.
So I plan for the program. It's definitely the beginning. So I plan for the program to be across the state. Within the next 5 years. That's one of my plans.
No question, and it definitely will because, like I said, and that Ward 8 community where it was no really sports activities going on. Not a whole lot of playgrounds no more. A lot of stuff missing in the communities.
We had them, but it was just fading away, and that's how I built this program as well. Is I looked at a lot of other programs and things that was going on out here. You know what I'm saying? And Trying for Leaders Youth Mentoring Program is pretty much like an all-in-one program.
Okay.
It's not nothing in this program a youth can't get.
Right.
It's a total of. I got a total of 36 different programs. 36. 5 of them dropped last year.
And that's just because of the
situations.
Nah, it's that you need the committed people around you to
Absolutely.
make stuff.
I can't do it without people like. He was honest with me. Now I can take a person that's honest with me and say, like he told me, man, look, I got some personal stuff going on. Let me get myself together, and then. But he never faded. He never faded away. He always showed the support. Anything that was going on, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I respect that versus the person saying that they're going to help me get in. It's not what they think it was or what they was looking for, and then they was
looking for that nonprofit money from the government, thought they was gonna mooch off of it.
Well,
and
it ain't over here. I wish they'd give me something to help me out with these kids. I swear, you know, somebody help me.
Because it's so much that could be accomplished. Like, look at the jacket.
Absolutely.
Look at the jacket, y'all. Look at the president's jacket. Stand up, let them see the jacket.
Not the president's jacket.
The president's jacket. It say president. Look out to let them see the
Letterman's
jacket.
technically.
Yeah, Shibley Lyons Letterman's jacket.
Shibley Lyons.
Don't move too much.
Yeah, there you go.
There you
I
go.
like that logo though.
Yeah, Shibley Lyons.
Hashtag we Shipley, you know. And I do this, you know, it's an honor to be able to really do this in my community because it's never been done.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't, you know.
We did it. It just
again, it took a lot of,
part of
and we
nonprofit.
tried, me and somebody else tried, you know, back in like 01, 02. We tried to start a team.
I was at war.
You
I
know,
was in the military then.
yeah, we was all at war, and we still at war.
Yeah.
Every day we walk out the door, we at war.
No question.
You know, and what they call that?
I'm with you. Hell, give me something. First time interview, he doing good, y'all. he doing definitely good.
PTSD.
Okay.
Post-traumatic syndrome.
Post-traumatic syndrome. You know, it's only diagnosed to who?
Everybody.
But hold on. They only
Everybody.
diagnose it to people in the military.
Exactly.
Now, last I checked,
no.
and let me rewind
according
my
to
life
statistics.
back. You know, I think I went through some war too.
No,
and, you know,
not according to statistics. Anybody who
Here's the thing.
anybody who been in prison
And that too.
has post-traumatic syndrome.
I ain't get to that part.
Anybody who grew up in an urban community has post-traumatic syndrome.
Absolutely.
It's in the books.
Absolutely. And that's part of one of the problems with, you know, a lot of, you know, people like me and you. Like, I probably got like 4 or 5 different disabilities that I ain't been diagnosed with. But at the same time, I know I got some issues.
Yeah.
But
I say my neck and my back all the time.
I know I got problems. So I'm able to recognize it, you know what I'm saying, and move past it.
Pretty much.
You know what I'm saying? I never realized how crazy I was until I'm in the house alone going through shit.
And you just
Stop
thinking.
talking to yourself.
You know what I'm saying?
Passing out with
But
yourself.
by the time I step out the door, I'm together. So I'd rather be crazy in the house.
So you was in the house like Luke Cage.
Man, it's times, man, I done been in the house
Bro,
like
you
ready
in
to
that one
like
show, bro.
go ham. You know?
Yeah.
Man, I think everybody has, whether they admit it or not.
Nah,
you know,
I definitely do.
everybody behind closed doors.
Nah, I definitely do.
They
it.
do some more strange things.
Let me help you out real
I don't
quick.
know
I
about
let
that.
people
I ain't
know.
talking about like that.
No,
but
but I'm saying
you know
I
what
let
I'm
my
saying?
no. I let people know I have problems. Okay.
No, she fucked up.
We all got
Nah,
problems.
man.
It's just a matter of who's
who
going to
which one?
admit it.
Pick one.
And that's the problem with, you know, a lot of.
Y'all hear this right? She shooting
and I'm not,
shots. Come get her.
no, they don't talk to anybody, nothing like that. But, you know, within our black community, our biggest problem is a lot of people can't accept their
Own
wrongs.
faults.
Their wrongs. And the only way to move forward is you got to accept your wrongs. You know what I'm saying?
Forgive and forget.
you got to be able to forgive. You know, you can't get on in life holding grudges
No question.
because them same grudges, them the ones that hold you back.
No question. Oh, but I can't say this. Now, if you holding grudges because, like, you know how many people we grew up with.
I don't hold grudges. I just
hold
let
up.
it go.
No, hear me out. Hear
No,
me out.
he's
No,
saying
hear me out. Hear me
pass.
out. You know how many people we grew up with. And we realized in life that everybody changed on seasons or for a reason. You see what I'm saying? So some people we was like this together. I ain't do it. We was like this together. And then somehow we spread it apart. But only a handful of us still remain together.
Yeah.
Even though we're not together every day, we might not speak every day, but it's only a handful of us still together.
I got a whole lot of friends that I don't have to talk to them every day.
Right, you know where they at.
I know where they at, and good thing for social media. You know, I don't abuse the privilege. I love social media, but I don't abuse the privilege of social media. Social media is being dangerously abused nowadays.
I don't
You know,
It
If I
depends
see
on
one
what-
more
So-
twerker, I'm
I
gonna
love
lose
the
my
Twitter
mind.
videos. I be on that joint like, do it again. I be like Will Smith and Bad Boys like this.
Man, hey.
He's a creep though. That's different though. Not you. This one. The light
Take one to
skin.
know one.
I'm not a creep. You better ask about me in these streets.
Yeah, so you
Whatever
know
that mean.
Yeah, so we definitely need more help and support, with our youth out here. We need more programs. We need more people like us, to step up, and not saying that it's not enough of us already out there.
But you need more.
But we need more. We're outnumbered.
Yeah, but actually, to the community, our show is versatile. We talk about rap, we talk about go-go, we talk about what's happening in the communities, we talk about non-profit organizations, we talk about anything that's something to talk about. So if a nigga, excuse my French, hot, we talking about that. We putting it live on blast and everything. Kill. My cat ain't my bird. But they took my camera. But that's why I brought the brother on tonight, because, he holding back for real. He really need to go in and let it out. Some of the reasons why they try to, hold him back. Some of the reasons why he succeeded. He definitely did it professionally. I respect that. But when he talked to me early, he was like, man, I'm about to go in. I'm about to give him a piece of my mind. It's uncut. We're going to keep it all way.
He did.
And he definitely did.
He did nicely.
Yes, he did. Professionally.
Yeah, it's, again, this.
He twerk too, what? Okay.
I ain't know I was getting into politics. I ain't signed up for it. I signed up to help kids, not politics.
Politics got their finger in everything.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Black or food.
Again, nonprofit, running a nonprofit organization is politics. And again, I didn't even know. And the only reason why I got my nonprofit, my 501c, was because when I started trying to get help, wouldn't nobody help me because I wasn't a nonprofit. And I never wanted to get a nonprofit because I didn't want people to think that I was just about the money. And I did it for so long. Mm-hmm. But in order for me to get to the next level,
you had to become
I had to become a nonprofit, and I just did that last year. So, trying to get, funding for these kids, and you got to get political.
As far as the single mother, I can't speak for all of them, because if my son was small, I probably would let him play. But he's 16 now. That ship is past, and I'm not letting him play football ever again in life. My baby broke his neck. My baby broke his neck in 3 places. Technically, my son is supposed to be paralyzed. His X-rays are a case study now. The way his neck broke, he broke. He broke the bone here, the bone here, and the bone right here.
Though? Why I gotta be disabled?
I'm showing him.
Your finger in my neck.
I was.
We live on the air and you keep poking me in my neck.
Me, Coach
if I fall out on the air, don't be mad, y'all. You live witness.
You extra. Look, he broke his neck right here in the base. I'm showing you. With the base of his skull, in between, and then down by his shoulder blade. So technically, he's supposed to be paralyzed.
I'm not going to sit here and promote it to a point where it's though I'm being selfish, just thinking about football, because it's definitely a safety risk, just as well as with any other sport out here. It's just different risks that you take, just like in life. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So when when we finish up with this and I'm done and we walk out this door, I'm taking the risk because I don't know what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. By the time, hopefully God willing, I'll make it home to my kids. This is another thing that inspired me, to start this program, because back in 2015, I don't know if you was with us that night or not, but it was about 6 of us. I'm not sure. You might have been with us that night. I ain't for sure. But we left a club. As a matter of fact,
who birthday?
We went out. I don't remember. We went out Babylon.
Oh Lord.
Oh, no, I ain't go.
We went out Babylon.
Y'all left me that night.
Then we winded up. We winded up Adams Morgan.
Yeah, y'all left me that night.
Oh, Creeps Row. That's what I.
We wound up Adams Morgan, and we were supposed to be going to what's that strip club on Brinkley Road?
X4B.
Exactly. We supposed to be.
See, creep. Look at that. Creep.
We all supposed to be meeting up there. The only thing I remember
is show Black.
we left Adams Morgan. Still to this day, that's all I remember.
Nah,
And
they always leave me though. I'll be the last to find out all events.
I winded up
And then
totaling a
expect me to pop
vehicle.
up.
The only thing that I remember about the accident is seeing a bright white light for at least about 15, 20 minutes.
Gizmo.
I lie to you not. This happened on the Beltway. Seen a bright white light for the longest time. I remember somebody coming, asked me, was I okay? I heard somebody ask me, was I okay, like 2 times. And everything just went back bright white. When I came back to life, not to my senses, when I came back to life, I was walking up the front of my complex and OG was pulling up.
When you was in the van?
No, I was in my car. I was in the car.
In the caddy?
No.
Oh. But that was,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And still to this day, I don't know what happened. But, the only thing I suffer from
You another one that got a four-leaf clover and a guardian angel just sitting there on the curb just like this. Like, I wonder what this fool gonna do.
I suffered some serious memory loss. You know what I'm saying? And
big head back.
a few, I took me like about a good month to be able to walk back straight again. Messing with OG, we wound up going to Virginia Beach. What's out there? The blues.
You had a
the
crook
blues
in your
festival
back on the beach.
Huh?
You had a crook in your back on the beach.
Nah, man, we wound up still going out there a few days after the accident. We in the club out there. I'm trying to stand up. I wound up falling in the middle of the whole club.
You know what? You know what?
Never forget it.
He was drunk.
I wasn't drunk. I couldn't stand straight. You know what I'm saying? What's that?
I'm just letting y'all know,
equilibrium
It
was off.
I'm just letting you know, right? Y'all are heavy when y'all drunk.
So, but that changed. Ever since that, man, I don't do all that drinking and driving and I'm very cautious when it comes to driving and speed. You know what I'm saying?
Because you are a role model. You can't do
that. And I've already been a witness to lose my life, so now I have to continue to use this platform, you know what I'm saying, to be able to tell it to the world. You know what I'm saying? Drinking and driving, that ain't the thing to do. If you seriously, it's been a lot of nights that a lot of us thought we was a NASCAR driver leaving these clubs.
No question.
I remember we used to get from Waldorf back around the way in 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Doing 100 all the way down
No question.
Branch
5
Avenue.
minutes. We did it.
I don't really.
Matter of fact, Danny's. Who can get the Danny's first?
Guess what? I don't really play with people texting while they driving with me in the car.
Man, it's crazy nowadays.
If you, it's
a law against that.
It's just
I'm
a
guilty
lot.
of that time, so I think we all are.
My cousin was in a 6-car pileup last year. He's still in bed. I'm glad he's alive. I know he's glad he's alive. But it's just the thing, like, you never know. Like, you might think you're okay to drive. You're not okay to drive.
No.
I know when I'm done.
Bitch, it is 20, and bitch go for everybody.
No.
Men and women. Bitch, it is 20 million different ways for you to get home other than your car.
Uber, Lyft.
It's a drunk
The
text number.
Thotmobile,
Now
the
you call. Okay?
Thotmobile, girl,
Once.
we at.
Call the girl that your
Once
girl
I
don't
feel
know about.
myself
Call the nigga
getting
that your nigga don't know about. Call whoever to get you home.
Once I feel myself getting to a certain level, and now, like, I don't even drink as much as I used to. You know what I'm saying? I try to, I'm still human.
Watching your intake.
I still got to, live my life, but I don't drink as much as I used to. I don't even have the time. I'm always doing something involved with the kids. You know what I'm saying? Even when I'm in the house and I try to take a drink, phone constantly ringing, between my staff and one of the kids calling, or it might be a parent, you know what I'm saying? Or somebody might have, send me something, I got to reply right back with an email or something like that. Like, I'm constantly, I get up every day I get up at 4:30 in the morning. I don't sleep past 4:30. I don't care what time I go to sleep. 4:30, I'm up.
Look at here. My kids, y'all know better than to wake me up at 4:30 in the morning. Everybody getting their butt whooped. You better hold that thought until 10 a.m. Especially on Sunday.
Plus, he fixed cable, too, so he's the cable guy. He's the cable guy.
I work for
I'm going
I work for RCN.
You
I'm
need
going
cable
home.
down?
You know,
You fix
I
your
don't
stage.
have no cable boxes, so please don't
Don't
start
call for that.
inboxing me, asking me about no cable boxes. I don't have no cable boxes.
But if
Matter
you
of
got
fact,
your
let me
own-
give y'all this tip. Don't even waste y'all money buying them because
They
you
ain't
buy
no
them,
good.
within a few weeks, it's going to go out. You be better off going and paying the bill.
So if you
I
ain't
ain't got
gonna
time
watch
for
it
that.
for
I
2
get a
weeks
5
straight,
stick.
yeah, 5 stick winning right now.
So
5 stick, Netflix, Amazon Prime. They got TV shows. Them shows is bomb. Yep, I said it. Sorry,
you hear
no
this shit
good.
first. Live on the Talk Around the Town about 5 sticks, Amazon. But we just gave y'all something real live and
Good
from the
dude,
brother.
Coach Kev.
Yeah, Coach Kev, you know, trying
We
for
beefing
leaders.
though because he wasn't around when my son was playing football, but you know what I'm saying? My son had weedy, so we good. I'm still
you
gonna beat you
know,
up though.
this program, I try to keep it affordable, not
angry
try.
black woman. Tyler Perry
um,
shit back to DC.
Kevin talk.
No, y'all good. Go ahead.
Tyler Perry shit back to DC.
Yeah, I do want to let everybody know that, you know, this program is and will always be affordable for, you know, my community, you know, and I want to, you know, continue to keep fighting until, you know, we get the proper funding that we need for the community. Again, we talking about kids that's in the community, that's from the community. They live right there.
So we
You know
gonna
what I'm
keep-
saying?
I have a
So,
question,
keep
and I don't
promoting
know
this
if I really
video.
want to ask the question, but I'm gonna ask anyway because I don't care.
Yeah.
Because I voted for him a couple of times. Is Trayvon White actually active
active as far as what?
into the program?
No, he's not.
no.
Trayon.
He almost got with
first
it.
First time I met
Almost got with
Trayon
it.
was actually when we did community day.
Our first event.
Our first event, we did
With
community
Triumph
day,
Leaders, our first event.
and
That's my boy, don't do
last
that.
June 30th. You know what
Nah,
I'm saying?
he a homie. He a homie.
I don't. Yeah, I don't knock the guy. I don't even know him personally to even, you know.
No, he a homie.
No,
It's just
I'm
when-
asking
But-
because I know he's for Ward 8.
Nah, he is.
That's why I'm
But
asking.
being
Is he
as though
involved?
I
at the
feel-
time when we started, he was going through so much backlash with the Jewish people and all this type of stuff. So, like, it was a lot
Maybe we
going
started
on.
on them people.
He helped out with I
know.
feel, you know, if I needed a cut, you know, I call him. You know what I'm saying? He'll get a cut for us, whatever the case may be. But, you know, when it came to, like, you know, serious, you know what I'm saying, help with, you know, funding the program, you know what I'm saying, I didn't get any help from nobody. You know what I'm saying? So, again, it's like it's a constant fight, you know, and hopefully, you know, soon, you know, I guess I'm going through a stage right now where I'm having to prove myself, you know, because it's been a thing about, you know, my background or whatever the case may
So-
be. But, you
See
know,
if it's
So,
official or
good
not.
question. This is my question. Do
And
you
that's
feel
the
like,
thing, a
do
lot
you
of
feel like
people
you feel like you've been tested as far as like your dedication
oh,
to the kids?
I definitely feel like, well, you know, my dedication.
Not to the kids. I'm saying to the organization, like to the nonprofit.
the
part.
dedication, you know, everybody that they have asked about me, and because they done their, you know, investigations and they
definitely
researched,
do.
I'm sure they probably
They
done tapped my
definitely do.
phone and had me followed and everything. Because at one point they was trying to find any and everything. I'm not talking about Trayon, but I'm
I
talking
know,
about
I
as
know,
far as
I know
like,
that.
you know,
situation.
I know what you're talking about. Don't even worry about it. I know.
everybody
know
was
too.
trying to find
the Donald
something
Trump followers.
because when I came about with the program, everybody kept trying to figure out, you know, who am I? You know,
Yeah,
you know,
the-
from the community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Coach Kevin,
I
that's
had
all.
a reputation, you know, from, you know, the streets. And a lot of people didn't know that I'd been doing this my whole time. I had went back in 2008. You know, I was chosen for Father of the Year for Ward 8. I went for the Pre-K for All program. Went down, talked down the Wilson building. Actually, C. Anthony Muse, which is the senator over in PG County, my first business, you know, I was using his church to wash cars. And, you know, at that time, I was young. I just had my son, and I was trying to find myself. One thing about me, you know, it was a lot of opportunities, what may have looked like opportunities to other people,
But you knew the hidden
but
agenda
I
behind
knew that I had to live my life. And this is a true story right here. That's when, you know, I really started, you know, really, you know, digging deep into religion. And I realized that I didn't need a religion because I don't identify with a religion. The most closest religion I do identify with is, you know, the Islam community. You know, so, but I don't, you know, identify with a religion because, one, I don't even like to get into the debate about my faith.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying?
I
So
don't
in
debate
order to get around that, I know my beliefs.
And you have your
I
belief.
believe in God. And when I was going to Pastor Muse's church, he was trying to help me, get out the street. I was this kid from, Southeast that, I'm in Oxon Hill. You know what I'm saying? He's helping me trying to get, to another, but I had to be myself. And I couldn't be a fraud. So I chose to, depart myself from, his church, which is Ark of Safety, and I, kept living my life that God had set out for me to live. Because that's all I've been doing is living the life that God set out for me to live.
It's funny
you know what I'm saying?
It's funny you said something about religion because a young woman I was speaking with today, we were talking about psychopaths like Jeffrey Dahmer,
Right?
Crazy, and she was like, "Well, if they just believe in God, God could fix them."
What?
I said, "Wait a minute, time out." I said, "Say that again." She said, "If they just really believe in God and give themselves over to God, God can fix them." I said, "You ever heard of God help those who help themselves?"
And
you want him to do all the work. She was like, yes. She was like, if they go sprinkle themselves with holy water, he'll fix them. I said, I guarantee you, it's like 20 million people in the world right now with cancer that will disagree with you.
I don't walk around with that bottle on them every day.
Exactly. It's not about your religion. It's about what you going to do. It's
I
you
don't
as a
knock
person.
nobody's religion or
Exactly.
what they do or how they praise God. I know how I praise God. And I go in the house every day, not just when I'm in the house. When I leave here, I'm going to thank him for this opportunity, for being able to come and for y'all giving me this opportunity to come in here, and speak.
But
now
that we done brought you on here for your first time and got you, see how relaxed and comfortable it is, hopefully you get to come back.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, because, again, the program ain't going nowhere. Like I tell all my potential sponsors, I don't care, what you do to try to stop me. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen because as long as I'm breathing, Triumph for Leaders is going to go. Mm-hmm. I'm going to continue to, lead these kids. Anything I do now, I think about all these kids, not just my own. When people ask me, how many kids you got? Over 100. They be looking at me like, oh, this nigga a whore.
No, don't feel bad because I got about 15, 20 if I count.
You know what I'm saying? They give me a look like over 100. I be like, yeah, over 100. I got a youth program. So I don't even feel comfortable not including them in the count when I talk about my kids. Every child in my program, I look at them as my child because that's how we treat them.
Of course.
We treat them as our own.
They're my babies.
A lot of them live, and a lot of the kids, and another question that you asked me, another answer I can give you, or how it started. It started with when the first group of kids that I had was mostly all of my close friends and family members whose fathers were either deceased or locked up.
Mm-hmm. And they wanted something positive.
And I used to always have them with me. It was like whenever something happens. I've always maintained a reputation. I'm a people, I'm a real, it's nothing fake
You're always in the
about.
community.
I'm always been a people person, and it's like whenever something goes on, everybody knows that they can call me. You know what I'm saying? Something goes on with, somebody, their girl, they know they can call me and I'm going to be there. Every close person to me that has left here or they're, locked up right now or something, their child is in my program and I'm looking out for them until they're able. If they're not able because they're deceased or something, then it's my obligation to take care of them for the rest of their life as much as I can. Mm-hmm. So that's another, thing that help build this program, is to continue to give kids opportunities, and I like to keep it focused on, the kids, without not saying that everybody needs mentoring, but it's mostly needed, in these environments like Ward 8.
Okay. Well, not to cut you short, but it's almost our time. So before we leave tonight, get the people something that they can remember you by. A quick little saying or, something that they can go off of. Yeah, like a quote.
To make them think.
Man.
Got your ass together that time. You thought
everybody
you had all
eat.
that.
Everybody eat.
Everybody eat.
That's
because, my thing is that I want everybody to have an opportunity.
That's right. See how
You know what I'm saying? And
no motivation.
I believe that a lot of opportunities are held back, you know, not just for the youth, but for adults as well.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? So as long as I continue, you know, to have this opportunity to continue to keep pushing this program, it's not just about the youth for me, it's about adults too. I ain't got there yet though. You know, I ain't got there. But you know, we're you know, this program, we're here to help whoever we can help. We're there. Seniors, you know, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I got a quote for you.
I definitely deal with them all the time. So
I got a quote for you. You ready?
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
I set back for this one.
Building our future one generation at a time. That's
No. Don't count the days, make the days count. Who said that? You used to box. Who said that?
That sounds like Muhammad Ali.
Good job. Look at you.
But if I can leave everybody with something, you know, is to keep pushing.
Well,
Yeah, my mama say that.
I'm going to give you the definition of Skibo
My mama
Records.
say that.
We live by strategically kindle ideas for a beautiful outcome. And so on that note, we're going to leave you with that. Catch us each and every Saturday from 9 to 11. Talk around the town. Peace.
I know I was so polite this week.
Deuces.